Hello students and welcome to Trends and Forecasting. Hello, hi, how are you? I'm doing this late at night and I'm going to have my coffee. And by the way, disclosure, Starbucks is not sponsoring this episode tonight. And I have another thing to say. I do have my cats with me. Right now I'm holding my cats very close to me and they don't want to be away from me. And I don't mind it. So you may see some animation behind me, cats flying up and down. So I apologize if that happens. I will try to do post-production where I will try to tidy up this video. But if I can't do that, I apologize in advance. Okay, welcome back to class. I hope you guys had a nice break. This is a fantastic episode. I was really planning on doing this in a very extended way. And I realized that because we are doing trends and forecasting as a research thing, so there's certain things I will tell you, and then there's certain things I think I want you to find out for yourself, which I think would be kind of fun, okay? So let's dive right into it. Now, in my somewhere in one of my lectures with you guys or my conversations with you guys, I told you guys that there are only certain cities that are fashion forward or fashion capitals, so to speak. I don't know how that came about, but it's just more like, for example, New York is one, Tokyo is the other one, Milan is another one, France, Paris obviously is another one, and London is obviously another one. Of course, you have Hong Kong and Singapore and Taiwan and certain parts of India is also considered as fashion capitals based on which conversations you have and with who you have these conversations. But everybody will agree that New York is a fashion capital of the world. So is London, so is Paris, and so is Milan. And of course, now Tokyo is a big deal too. Now, the reason why these cities took such a position is because of the consumer market. The consumer market basically means where the customers are or where the buyers are. For example, if you look at India is not considered as a buyer's market. It is more like a seller's market. In other words, like in New York, you design the goods or the garments, but you don't make it in New York. You go and make it in India, or you make it in Pakistan, or you make it in China, something like that. So that is how these cities actually took certain positions way in the beginning of the fashion story. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is because if you look at the slide in front of you, it says Future Consumer 2023. This is 2021 right now. We're ending 2021. Now, most forecasting companies, the way they think is once upon a time, and at least when I was in school, we used to think 6 months ahead, 1 year ahead. But now, because of social media and because of the the way the internet is moving, the whole world has become flat, so to speak. Certain trend companies are also thinking 2 years ahead because they want to be way in front of everybody else. And this is one company that does this very well, WGSN. And we're going to get into it a little bit. Now, some of you probably already know of this company. Some of you already have seen it on Instagram and YouTube and maybe at some fashion show events on YouTube where they were talking about it. But it is actually a very fantastic agency. Now, it's not the only one out there. There are many, but this one seems to be a little bit ahead. This one seems to be a little bit ahead of everybody else in the way they think and the way they want to approach fashion. Some people disagree with how they think because they think people 2 years ahead is a little bit too much. Like you're going too far ahead. But these folks are a little bit like, they are a little bit unique in the way they think and they really do intense research. Anytime there's a fashion show and there's a designer that looks very promising, they will reach out to the designer. They won't hire the designer, but they make sure that they are part of the designer's outfit. It's just incredible, okay? Now, at the end of this lesson, obviously, I will put the link to the website. And of course, it'll be part of your assignment that you're going to research this website a little bit. Anybody who's interested in fashion or color and trends and styling, whether it's just fashion or interiors or product design, definitely, you're going to love this group of people. Now, these are some slides that I took from their website. So this is not something I made. I took it from their website and I put it together just to bring it to you, to just interest you a little bit, so that way you will actually really go and do a deep research into this group, because it's very nice to see what they do. And they're connected to all the major brands. It's a big deal. And they're an external company. That means they don't belong to anybody. They just do their own thing. Like they will work with Armani, for example, but Armani has his own WGSN team internally in Armani, because they dictate everything, retail and all that stuff. But that's like a whole different conversation. But this group is a little bit different. Now, if I'm looking at this, if you're reading it, I'm not going to read every single thing. I'll let you guys do that on your own. But you can see they say that they are doing color and trend forecast 2+ years ahead. That means 2 years and more. Mostly it's 2 years actually. They drive sales by generating every month 250 reports every month. Every month they make 250 reports on trends and forecasting for their clients. That means in 31 days, 250 reports are made. They are so good. It's unbelievable. But anyway, I carry on. Inside is the consumer and market intelligence. Now, in one of my conversations with you guys, I did tell you that, hey, listen, this is actually a very a business-oriented type of career move. If you want to be a trends and forecasting person, you really need to, get into marketing, market intelligence, trying to do certain types of research into brands and stuff like that. It's very interesting. If business or fashion interests you, this is something that you probably would like to think about a little bit. Here's another one that is beauty. They talk about color. And here it says that they are talking about 5 years ahead, which is really insane by some people. Some people are just thinking 1 year ahead, and they can't even do that properly. Because the fashion trends move so fast every moment it moves, but these guys are actually doing it even 5 years ahead, which is super. Food and drink, of course, this is important. Now that we are all in the internet world, it's just it's incredible to know that food is also fashion, so to speak. And then of course they have interiors and lifestyle, which is awesome. And of course, I'm not going to go through everything. I want you guys to actually do the full research into this. This is more like a small, quick review just to get you interested, so that you'll get into the website and you know what to look for, because there might be too many things going on in the website. I don't want you to feel that you just need to only do the fashion part. I do want you to leave fashion a little bit here and there and try to look at different things, because it all comes together. Remember, fashion is a story that is made out of so many components. So it's not only about fabric. It could be about jewelry, bags, shoes, hair and makeup, stuff like that. And this one, let me just take a moment and talk to you about the barometer. Barometer basically means metrics. Like, for example, if I ask you how much money you have in your bank, and if you say you have $600 in your bank, you know what? That is your metrics. That means you have $600 in your bank. And if you have 6 million in your bank, that means your barometer is 600 million or 6 million in your bank. That's just a metric, is a way of measuring something. Whether you measure success or you measure failure, even, by the way. I don't want you to think that everything is always about successful. Sometimes you may fail at something, but you measure it so that you understand, I failed because of these reasons, so next time I should not do these reasons again. So that's the meaning of a barometer. It's also known as metrics in business. So this group actually If you hire them to do things for you as a brand, what they do is they do full research internally, externally, up, down, sideways, and they give you reports every time based on your sales or why your sales is not doing so well, or maybe your sales is doing very well, and stuff like that. They really get into it. Advisory, that means they advise you. They do custom make their services to clients. So if a client comes to them and tell, listen, this is what I'm doing, this is where I need to go, in 5 years this is what I'm looking for, and then they will tailor their business, their research, their reports, everything to match you exactly. They could be a little expensive when they do that, but remember, WGSN is not they're not like 10-20 people. They are like, I don't know what is the strength, but they have offices in nearly every country. So they have a lot of people behind that brand when they do their trend, so that the moment you hire them as a designer, the entire network is at your service. They're working for you, which is like you hire one agency like them, and immediately it's like you have 2,000 employees working for you. Like that's like, that's heavy power. But of course, they're expensive. Here it is. It says 20 years. They were launched in London in 1998. And this is true. I was in New York when this happened. And when they came on the scene, they were very like an online, because internet really took off in 1996, 1997. So they actually came in. Now, before WGSN, there were some other agencies, and those agencies are still there today, where they were doing trends and forecasting, and they still do trends and forecasting. They still work in New York and Paris and London. And WGSN is a company that does what they do, but more online. So that means they can actually reach more cities, more people, more designers, so they can cater to the Chinese designers or the Malaysian designers or Indian designers, Parisian designers, like Japanese designers. So they can like go everywhere a little bit. But I remember when I was in New York, and they made a presentation. I was a designer I was working for, and they came in and made a full presentation. I was lucky enough to sit in the first part of the presentation because I had to go and do some work. So I could not stay for the whole thing because they were there for the whole day. But I had some other friends who were there, and they got all the booklets and stuff like that, and they showed me. I didn't get a copy for myself, unfortunately. I should have got one, but I didn't get one. And it was pretty cool to show, like, wow, they actually, from the thread to the button to the zipper, I mean, they will go through anything and everything. Even the color of your shopping bag, they will tell you what that color should be. And they won't just tell you what color the bag should be. They will also tell you that these are the people who make it. You may choose which price you like, and they will make it for you. So they were like this one service that they will just come, and you simply say, okay, go, and boom, they will do everything for you, which is unbelievable. Now, there are many companies today that are doing this, by the way. This is not the only company. This is the only one that I like, and I want to make this a lesson where you guys will actually spend some time and go through it and look through it and research and just understand what's going on with this group. And I like this layout. This is their website layout, the world's #1 fashion trend forecaster, Actually, they are pretty good. I can tell you for sure that they are extremely good. But it does not mean that they are the only one. It's just that they're pretty nice at what they do. And they tend to have a very nice grip on style and stuff like that. I put this slide in, it's on their website. I didn't want you to miss it. There's something that is known as a mindset. And if you read properly, I'm reading off my screen over here. It says, what is mindset? Why are we different? What we deliver, questions we help answer, how we work, who we are, our global outreach, and mindset, thought, leadership. While you're researching, try to find this page, and please spend some time on this page, because this is actually a really cool lesson on its own. So I'm not going to get into it now. I may come back to this at some point later on in the next few weeks. But right now I want you to kind of like enjoy reading it yourself, because each designer is different. So you may see something that you may like that might not match somebody else's thought. So I want you to try it out first before I actually make a presentation on this later on, not today. Now, these are some of the people that work at WGSN, of course. Now, I'm not here to introduce them to you, but what I'm here to show you is you can see that all their photos, black and white. Take a look. All their photos are in black and white. And you can also see that their bio or the way they're writing their stuff is a little bit different. And that's one of the assignment things that we are going to try to do today. Where, as you can see, if you look at Helen Palmer, okay, let me just quickly read the first line. So you see, they say, Helen enables creative teams to translate future concepts. They don't say she helps, they say Helen helps. They like that language because it's a very cool English language of how to do a bio to introduce one person to another. So I think when we do our work, when we are writing a bio, I want you to pay attention to these things so that way you can try to see if you can copy some of it according to your style, which we are going to try today as that's part of your assignment. Like, I will let you guys read this on your own. I just like this picture. I just threw this picture in there because I just like the way it is. Maybe if I have a wall like that, I probably end up painting it like that. Okay, assignment for the week. All right. You're going to do a 2-page report. It should be a 200-page report, actually, in full honesty. But I'm not here to totally wreck your weekend. I just want you to have an awesome weekend. But I want you to be very excited about doing the research on this website, or this group at least. You're doing a 2-page PDF report, obviously. You are going to add a bio and a black and white photograph of yourself. I want you to try to mimic what I just now showed you. I'm not asking you to copy it exactly. I just want you to try to, lean towards this a little bit. Make an attempt to make the report more business-like. So this is a little tricky. Now, what is the meaning of business-like? That means the language that you use. I don't mind if you copy anything from that website. I don't mind it because this is an internal project. It's not part of your exam or anything like that. And I want you to just give it a shot and try it out and see, because I want to see if you're able to try out certain things on your own as you send it to me, so that way I will read it and I will know. Send it to me by Sunday evening would be perfectly fine. And that ends my lesson today. It seems short. It's not, because you're going to be researching this website. And I really don't just spend 20 minutes on it. You're a designer. This is your business. And I want you to understand that these are the people that we look up to and we look to get a lot of influence, a lot of color concepts, idea concepts, because they research things incredibly. That's their job. That's what they do every day. I mean, you heard me say it earlier. Every month, they generate over 200 reports. 250 is what they said. 200 reports every month. So by the time you read a report, you're reading the next report. It's like they're so good at what they do. So I want you to spend some time today, this weekend, go through this website and, really take down some notes for yourself, because it's a fantastic website and I'm sure you're going to enjoy going through it. So go on, and thank you for your attention. Bye-bye.